Okay, so get this. We're diving deep into AI agents today. And honestly, I am geeking out a little bit. You know how ChatGPT was like the big thing?
Hmm.
Well, now imagine giving it like arms and legs, metaphorically speaking. It's like
Yeah.
2022 was all about these LLMs.
Right.
Then 2023 was combining them.
Yeah.
And now 2024 is all about making them do things, like actually do things like booking that perfect vacation, based on your dietary needs or having them automatically update code based on feedback, that kind of thing.
Right.
To help me like fully wrap my head around this, we've got our AI expert here. So break it down for me. What is the deal with these AI agents?
So think of them like super-powered assistants
Right.
just living in your computer,
Uh-huh.
and they take your instructions and then they turn them into actions.
Uh-huh.
So way beyond just like answering questions,
Okay.
like ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And it's not just some like futuristic dream anymore.
Right.
It's actually happening now. We're seeing all these big companies like Microsoft and Google and even Salesforce. They're all releasing their own versions of these AI agents.
Hold on. So this is really happening like right now.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And it gets even wilder.
Okay.
There's this company, Anthropic, and they made this agent called computer use.
Uh-huh.
Basically, it just lives in your web browser and can do all sorts of things. But here's the really interesting part.
Okay.
You can actually build these agents yourself.
Wait, I can build my own AI assistant?
Yeah.
Wow.
There are open source tools and like tons of tutorials online.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like learning a new skill.
Okay.
But instead of, like knitting a sweater or something,
Right.
you're creating a digital workforce.
That's both amazing and kind of scary.
Yeah.
So next time I'm thinking about outsourcing a task, I could potentially just like build an AI to do it.
Exactly.
Oh,
And that actually leads us to this really cool story about a startup
okay.
called Artifact AI. They're taking this whole AI agent thing to a whole new level.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So Artifact AI was founded by these two guys, Ariel Harmoko and Carter Springwell.
Okay.
And they're not just building like a single agent product.
Right.
They're using a whole network of AI agents.
Ah.
It's what we call a multi-agent system.
Okay.
And they're using it to run their entire company.
Wait, a whole company run by AI. How does that even work?
So imagine you've got all these specialized AI agents.
Okay.
Each one's really good at a very specific task.
Right.
And then you have this like master AI agent
Okay.
that acts like the project manager, So delegating tasks to all these specialized agents.
So if I told the system, like, build me an amazing website, what would happen?
Well, the master agent would break down that big goal.
Right.
So, one agent might design the layout, another writes the code, another handles SEO, and so on.
Wow.
It's like a fully automated team working 24/7.
That's incredible. But the article I read mentioned the CEO of Artifact AI.
Harmoko, he compared these systems to something kind of unexpected.
Right.
Like computer architecture. Yes.
Really?
He described the LLM as like the CPU doing the thinking, and then its context space is like the RAM storing the information.
So it's like a whole brain in the computer.
Exactly.
Wow.
But even though these systems are super cool, the article also pointed out that, we're still in the early stages.
Right.
There are definitely some kinks to work out.
Yeah.
Like someone tried using Anthropic's computer use, and it ended up making some mistakes and getting stuck in these loops.
Oh.
Turns out AI reasoning still has a long way to go.
Yeah, so it's not all smooth sailing just yet.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a huge research area right now. Like, how do we actually make AI think more like humans do?
Yeah, I bet.
Because right now it kind of does things backwards.
What do you mean?
Well, it generates all this text first,
Uh-huh.
and then uses that to try to reason,
Okay.
which is totally not how we do it as humans.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, they're trained on data from, like, Reddit, you know?
Right.
So maybe not the best source for, like, high-level reasoning.
So how is Artifact AI handling all of this? They're a pretty small team, right?
Believe it or not, just two people.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what's so cool about their, like, AI native approach.
Okay.
They're proving you don't need this huge team to build something awesome.
Seriously. It's amazing. It makes you wonder why more companies aren't doing this.
Well, according to the article, most founders haven't even grasped this whole concept of building a company with AI agents.
Really? That's surprising. But I guess it makes sense. It's a whole new way of thinking about building a business.
Right. Harmoko, the CEO of Artifact AI,
Uh-huh.
he said that out of like the hundreds of founders he's spoken to, only a tiny handful are really committed to building in the agentic space.
And those companies are probably seeing some pretty impressive results.
Oh, absolutely. One company they mentioned hit $1 million in revenue.
Wow.
in their first year,
Just from using AI.
all thanks to this AI-powered approach.
Okay, now I'm really curious. How can someone like me, not a coding expert, start building a company in this AI native way?
Harmoko actually outlined a few practical
Yeah.
steps. First, you need a system for figuring out which LLMs work best for different tasks.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like choosing the right tool for the job.
Exactly. And there are frameworks like LangChain and Llama Index that can help you connect and configure those LLMs for specific systems.
So I don't need to be like a coding whiz to start experimenting with this stuff.
Not at all. Even just playing around with ChatGPT can give you a feel for how to build these AI-powered workflows.
That's really encouraging. So this whole agentic AI thing is basically like the Wild West of company building right now.
It really is. There's so much potential for innovation and disruption.
Okay, so multi-agent systems are changing the game, but what happens next? What's the next big thing in the world of AI?
Well, according to Hermoko, the next frontier is full autonomy.
Okay.
So imagine these AI agents making complex decisions and taking actions all on their own without any human input.
That sounds both incredibly exciting and a little bit scary.
It definitely raises some interesting questions. But think about it, like the levels of autonomy for self-driving cars.
Right.
We're starting to see a similar progression with AI agents.
So we're moving from assisted AI to truly independent AI.
Exactly. And when you combine that with all the advances in hardware we're seeing like AR/VR and robotics,
Yeah.
the lines between the digital world and the physical world are going to get really blurry.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It really is. But here's the thing. This isn't just science fiction anymore. It's the reality we're moving towards.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of AI agents, I have to ask, what would you build if you had an army of AI agents at your command?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
I think the possibilities are truly endless. We're limited only by our imagination.
I love that it's like a whole new world of creation and innovation is opening up before us.
Yeah, it really is exciting, but gotta admit, it's also kind of overwhelming. Like, if someone is hearing all this for the first time, where do they even start? This AI world is moving so fast.
It can definitely feel like you're trying to drink from a fire hose,
Yeah.
but you don't have to become like an AI expert overnight.
Right.
Start small. Just familiarize yourself with the basic concepts.
Okay, so like what are some good first steps?
Play around with ChatGPT, explore some of the open source tools we talked about. Even just dipping your toes in the water can make a huge difference.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes just getting your hands dirty is the best way to learn.
Exactly. And once you've got a feel for those basics, just pick a small project that interests you. Something manageable, like automating a task at work or building a simple chatbot.
So learning by doing.
Yeah.
I like that, but what if you get stuck? There's so much technical jargon out there.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. The AI community is incredibly welcoming and supportive. There are tons of online communities and resources for beginners. That's great to hear. It's like anything else. The more you learn, the more you realize there is to learn.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next Ariel Harmoko building a multi-million-dollar company with just your laptop and a few AI agents.
Hey, a listener can dream, but even if I don't become the next tech superstar, it sounds like just learning about these tools can be incredibly empowering.
Absolutely. Whether you're building a company, automating tasks, or just exploring the possibilities, AI has the potential to change how we work and live in some really profound ways.
Well, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of agentic AI. We covered a lot of ground, but we've honestly only scratched the surface.
It's a really exciting time to be alive. I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.